The archaeologists found an impressive part of the old port. Right here you can see a long wall. Much of it is still not revealed yet, and that was the pier. There was quite a large fleet of fishing boats over here. Behind the pier you can see the remains of a paved street, and then a bunch of storehouses, which makes perfect sense because that's where you take the stock and the fish and maybe even some commercial activity, because the other side of the Sea of the Galilee is offering you a chance to trade with other people, non-Jews and Jews alike. Right after the pier is over, you can easily see many river bends, which means that the Sea of the Galilee indeed was here. It receded several hundred feet during time.
Here at Magdala, right on the Sea of Galilee, we have a wonderful remain of a port and docks. Fishing boats came. Yeshua met the disciples, some of the disciples, fishing along the sea, mending their nets. Now the Bible doesn't say which port they were at. They could have been up at Capernaum, they could have been at any number of ports along the Sea of Galilee, but it doesn't mention. But this one we have at the remain of a port. This is a good place to tell that story, where Yeshua was walking along and he saw Peter and Andrew, James and John working on their father's boat, and he invited them to come and follow him. And Yeshua is calling each one of us to come and follow him. For some of us, that means leaving behind our fishing nets and walking away from serving and helping our parents for a time. We still honor our parents always. For some of us, it means we continue to work as fishermen or whatever our occupation and still serving the Lord and still following him. But for each and every one of us, Yeshua invites us, come and follow me. Friday nights in a Jewish home can be a wonderful experience. There's a feeling of closeness as we watch Mother light the candles, smell the challah bread, taste the juice of the grape, hear the Father blessing the children. We sing L'cha Dodi as our weekly Shabbat vacation begins. We've been enjoying these traditions for centuries. Many still wonder why we start Shabbat on Friday evening, and if the blessings of Shabbat are only for the Jewish people to enjoy. Answer to these and many other questions are found at shalomadventure.com. Come for the adventure, stay for the shalom. shalomadventure.com.
I'm Dr. Linda Carney, and I practice family medicine near Austin, Texas. Today we're talking about osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is the brittle bone disease that happens to people as they lose calcium out in their urine. And people think that the bent back or the broken hip of osteoporosis is inevitable. It's just one of those things that happens with aging. They also have the mistaken notion that osteoporosis is caused by a lack of adequate calcium intake in their diet. But actually, osteoporosis is the brittle bone disease because the calcium is urinated away. And today we're going to look at 5 things that make us urinate away our calcium. You see, it's never been proven that taking the calcium pills can help everyone keep their bones strong and avoid bone loss, especially after menopause for women. But if adequate intake of calcium is assured by a plant-based diet can help people to minimize their risk of osteoporosis. One of the 5 things that makes us urinate away excess calcium is nicotine in cigarettes. And then alcohol can do it, caffeine can do it, excess salt, which is sodium chloride, can do it. But the biggest factor of all, and by far the most common in this country, is animal protein in the diet. Animal protein in the diet makes an acidic environment. And when we have an acidic environment, we have to buffer that acid as it goes out through the kidneys with calcium. Calcium is leached out of the teeth and bones, and the amino acids that make up animal products are more likely to have sulfur atoms in them, which makes sulfuric acid. So keep your bones strong for life with a whole food plant-based diet without meat, dairy, or eggs, and you'll have far less incidence of osteoporosis because you won't be losing your calcium out in the urine. If you'd like more information, be sure to visit my website at veggievore.com, where videos are available to help you protect your greatest treasure, which is your health. Visit veggievore.com, where you can realize how much health is wealth. Thanks.
Join Shalom Adventure on the next tour to Israel. It will be an adventure that you will relive the rest of your life. On the Shalom Adventure tour, you will get to see more and do more. We will travel the entire length and breadth of ancient Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, from the Dead Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, to the Sea of Galilee, from the Jordan River to waterfalls of En-Gedi, to Gideon's Spring, to Hezekiah's Tunnel, from Sodom and Gomorrah to Jerusalem, and so much more. We will eat a Passover Seder in the upper room. We will pray under olive trees in the Garden of Gethsemane. We will search for archaeological treasures, and we will celebrate a Shabbat service at the Western Wall. More than a vacation, it is a spiritual experience of a lifetime. Don't miss this amazing opportunity. Reserve your spot at shalomadventure.com today.
I was about 19, 20 years old, and I had hitchhiked down to Mexico and then came up from Mexico into Louisiana, where I was going to go out on an oil rig. But unfortunately, I didn't have the identification I needed to go out on the oil rig for a job that a friend of mine's family had arranged for me, so I couldn't go. So I went to New Orleans and hung out. As I was hanging out, I didn't have much to do, but it was a drizzly day. There were puddles in the street, and I was standing there smoking a cigarette. I used to roll my own, and terrible for you. But that's what I did, and a man walked up to me as I'm smoking and says, "Would you like to quit smoking?" And I looked at him, and I told him, "I love these things, and I hate them. And yes, I would like to quit smoking." And so he said, "I have something to show you," and he gave me a magazine, put it in my hands at least, and I looked at the magazine, and it was called The 5-Day Plan to Quit Smoking. I didn't know anything about the plan, but I looked at the magazine and I told him, "If you will give me this magazine, I will quit smoking." And he then sort of sorrowfully explained to me that he could not afford to give me the magazine. He sold these magazines to earn his tuition for school, and he left. And so I didn't quit smoking. I just stood there, pondered it a little bit, enjoyed my cigarette, let the rain fall on me, and about a half an hour later, this man came back and he says, "I can't stop thinking about you." And he said, "If I give you this magazine, will you really quit smoking?" And so there I was with a cigarette in my hand, and I said yes. So he put the magazine out for one hand, and in the other hand I had the cigarette, and there was a little bit of this going on, a little tug of war, and I threw the cigarette into the puddle, opened the magazine, and by the grace of Yeshua, that was the last cigarette I ever smoked in my entire life. And so I know that there is power in reaching out to others. And if we make the effort, now this man, he's got to be my age now or older, and this was 40 some odd years ago. I sure want to meet him. I'm looking forward to meeting him in heaven. I want to say, "You're the guy that gave me the magazine that stopped me from smoking and was a catalyst into so many other changes in my life that were positive."
time. What good is sunshine when he is away? Springtime, he'll shine upon my sorrow, but still tomorrow is as bleak as today. The house that we lived in is now barricaded. The windows are broken and bare. The sun is so fierce that the flowers have faded. They wilt in the wintry air. Each morning, each evening, I have to walk past it, hiding my eyes from the sight. The place where you loved me, the place where you kissed me, the place where you held me so tight. Springtime, what good is springtime? What good is sunshine when he is away? I long for your embrace. Springtime, he'll shine upon my sorrow, but still tomorrow is as bleak as today. Springtime, he'll shine upon my sorrow, but still tomorrow is as bleak as today. How thoughtful, how kind of the heavenly powers to send spring so early this year. Why, thank you for coming. I see you brought flowers. You want me to welcome you here. They say that the ghetto is golden and glowing, but sunshine and tears make me blind. Yes, they do. You see, my beloved, how soon they start flowing. I can't get you out of my mind. Springtime, he'll shine upon my sorrow, but still tomorrow is as bleak as today.
This is a life-size model of the sanctuary that Moses built in the wilderness. When we spent 40 years in the wilderness, it was continued to use all through the time of Judges until Solomon.
Sure was. And I mean, as you can see, although we have here the dimension specification that God had given to Moses, we have one here in Tarpon Springs, Florida. What a wonderful teaching tool, people. It's a blessing here at Leslie Health Teaching Center, where God had given them Leslie Hale many years ago. And here we have it here in Little Tarpon Springs, Florida. And it's not only a blessing for the community, but really it's a blessing for the whole body. And people can come here, and we're talking about different groups, from children's groups to senior groups. We want to just welcome everybody to come here to enjoy not only this facility here, Leslie Hale Teaching Center. The good thing about it, Jeff, it's that it's free.
It's free.
I mean, you come in here and people just wind up saying, my goodness, I can't believe this place. It's Disney World production that you have here. I mean, and along with the wonderful teaching rooms and the wonderful Bible museum that we have here. People have to come here to this wonderful place in Tarpon Springs, Florida, 1355 North Pinellas Avenue. Please come and join us. It's for everybody to enjoy, and everybody will be blessed. Okay, and here we are again before God's presence in the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant and the wonderful glory of God that dwelt in between the cherubims. You can only imagine what it would look like with the very presence of God and the pillar cloud that went up by the roof and a pillar of fire by night. But inside, you think about, we just talked about the wonderful manna, but the Aaron's rod that was placed in there. So interesting how that budded and brought forth buds, isn't it, Rabbi?
Yeah. The story behind it, we were in the wilderness, Moses leading us, and some of the people, Moses' cousins, started to doubt whether or not God had actually chosen Moses and Aaron to lead the people. And they wanted to lead the people. Everyone wants to be the big shot, right? And so God says, we'll have every tribe bring their leader with their walking stick, and then carve their name, the name of their tribe, on it, just as you have in the Tabernacle around this museum, the 12 tribes, and they carve their name onto their walking sticks, and each one would bring it into, or it would be brought into the Holy of Holies, the Kodesh Kodeshim in the Tabernacle, and then wait, and the next day they brought them out, and all the sticks looked exactly like they did when they brought them in, except Aaron's. Aaron's, it was, not only did it bear leaves, not only did it bud flowers, but it also produced almonds on it. So all in one night, it went from a dead branch to fully alive with branches, leaves, flowers, and fruit at the same time, which is unusual, right? You don't have fruit and flowers at the same time. The flowers produce fruit, but it had all of that together, demonstrating that God had chosen Aaron.
So wonderful about that. Thinking about that real quickly, about how the revolt came forth from Korah, and so many of them died after that. God opened up the earth and so forth. He had appointed one, but we could see a much foreshadow of a greater priesthood that would take after that.
That's right, because the Messiah, even though he comes through the line of Judah, as the line of the tribe of Judah, but he's also through the line of Levi, in a sense, because he is the priest for us, just like Melchizedek, who was not exactly from one of the lines, but Abraham gave tithe to him. And so the Messiah is both. And so he is able to be from the Messiah from the tribe of Judah, as well as our high priest for us, as God's choosing. God has chosen him. We can't choose our own leader. We can't choose our own Messiah. God specifically said where he was going to be born, how he was going to live, how he was going to die. God, just as he chose Aaron. And also in our own lives, right? We might feel like, hey, I'm dead and dried up and there's nothing in me. And there is nothing in us naturally. But when we placed inside God's presence, coming before his throne, he invites us, come boldly before my throne of grace to find help in your time of need. As we come before him, he makes that dry stick come alive, and he brings branches on us and leaves on us and flowers upon us, and makes us bud and then bring forth fruit as well. It's God's miracle of God working his transformation in our lives.
Amen to that.
Shalom and welcome to Shalom Adventure Hebrew class. Today we will study a word which is very popular and at the same time very important. Our word contains 5 letters and 4 diacritic marks. Our letters are Yod, Sin, Resh, Aleph, and Lamed. This is Yod. It sounds Y, like a Y in yes. Under the Yod, you can see a diacritic mark. This is a Hebrew vowel. It is called Hirig and should be pronounced like an I in if. The next letter is Sin. It sounds S like an S in sin. There are 2 small dots under the Sin which look like a colon. This is Sheva. The Sheva might be vocal or silent. A vocal Sheva sounds like a brief A silent Shiva indicates a brief stop. The Shiva in our word is silent. This is Reish. It may be pronounced like an R in rich, or if you want to do it more authentically, you may pronounce it like a Spanish R in arco or a French R in Paris. The diacritic mark found under the Reish is a Hebrew vowel. It is called kametz and sounds A, like an A in Amen. This is Aleph. Aleph itself is always silent. Even though our Aleph is silent, it bears a diacritic mark or a vowel. The diacritic mark found under the Aleph is called Tzere and should be pronounced E, like an E in they. Our last letter is Lamed. It sounds L, like an L in let. Hebrew should be read from right to left. When we read Hebrew words, we should pronounce a consonant first and then a vowel under this consonant, like this. Now, when we know all required letters, let us read the word. Israel. Israel. Israel is a proper name. It appears more than 2,500 times in the Hebrew Bible. The Bible explains the meaning of the word Israel. Jacob encountered God and struggled with him all night long. After that, he received his new name, Israel. God told Jacob, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with man, and have prevailed." You have struggled derives from the root Sarah, which means to struggle. El means God, and consequently Israel might mean he struggled with God. This amazing name Israel was not given only to Jacob. His descendants inherited this name. Initially, the phrase "the sons of Israel" was used to designate the family of the patriarch. And the sons of Israel came to buy grain among those who came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. When the descendants of Jacob multiplied, all the nation was called sons of Israel. But the sons of Israel were fruitful and increased greatly, and multiplied, and became exceedingly strong, and the land was filled with them. Apostle Paul announces that since Yeshua's incarnation, the Gentiles got a special invitation to be brought near. At that time, you were separate from Messiah, alienated from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without God in the world. But now, in Messiah Yeshua, you who once were far off have been brought near by the blood of the Messiah. Let us remember that regardless of our background, we become members of God's eternal Israel. Let us love each other and praise God for the blessed opportunity to be among His people. If you want to study more, visit shalomadventure.com and enjoy free Hebrew lessons. Thank you for joining us. Shalom.
Many people in the Bible experienced depression, just like we do today. Some were even suicidal, such as Moses, Elijah, Jonah, Jeremiah, Judas, and King Saul. Others that experienced depression were David, Naomi, Martha and Mary, Ahab, and one even surprising individual. Some people successfully came out of depression, others unfortunately did not. In this revealing book, Depressed People of the Bible, you will learn lessons from their lives to come out of the dark cave of depression into God's glorious light. Hope is a few pages away. Order yours today. Available at most stores books are sold. Or you can go to shalomadventure.com, where you can get a $2 discount when you use the word Shalom at checkout.
Thank you for joining us today at Shalom Adventure. We have a Shalom Adventure website, shalomadventure.com, where every single day we have new articles posted and videos and all kinds of wonderful stuff for you to enjoy and be blessed with and to share with other people. It's a journal for internal peace. It's a journey to eternal peace. So come along for the journey, come along for the adventure, come along for the peace, come along for the shalom, shalomadventure.com.
Yaverechecha Adonai v'yishmarecha. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'inkunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lacha shalom.
May the Lord bless you, and may the Lord keep you. And may the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace.